lovely tonight, very well dressed, very nice. It's a downtown bar. We should dress up, except for Chris. Chris, I've never seen you look this nice, however. My God, you cleaned up well. What's the deal, man?
Oh, I had to dress like this for work.
Oh, you just came from work. Yeah, I get that. Okay, that's very nice. So I think I see most of the people here I've known, fine people with. Brittany, thank you for not doing homework right now. So she sits right there every night and does. She's a student, like 75 hours a week. So, and you're doing. So, is our finals over for you? Are you done? Straight A's, right? Of course, straight A's. So, yay, good, yeah. Hope there's no student loans involved. I hope Biden makes them go away. So, if he does, so yeah, that'd be great for us. So, we need more people like that. And in fact, speaking of college and stuff, this is the Press Club. Welcome, Tulsa Press Club. Let's give a round of applause. Tulsa Press Club. Very historic place. You see around the areas here, those signs and stuff. This is a cool private club that you're invited to come anytime you want. You know Becky, so hang out with us. So we pay membership. Some of us here, people in the media here and stuff. I used to have a radio show, so I come here because there's good relationships here. It's downtown bar, neighborhood feel. We drink together all the time. It's very quiet, co-working place and stuff as well. But it's a nice, good place to be. All the money comes to this. It's a non-profit. It's not a for-profit bar. All the money goes to scholarships for journalism students. So they have fundraisers and parties and online stuff all the time here. So it's a really great cause. We need more journalism students. All you old media people like you guys over here are all fake news. You know you are. So let's get some young people out there. Tell the truth. Not you fake news people. You know, I know they all work. So it's all fake for you. Real journalism. It's funny that we think of fake news. And in the media, the press club, we think the media is the most informed people. They know what's going on. People send them what's going on. They get press releases, faxes all day long, emails, Facebook messages. They know what's going on in the world. It's amazing people think that the media is liberal. And they think the academia, the people in colleges, these students taking journalism, oh, they're all liberals and stuff. I'm sorry, if the most informed people, the most educated people are liberals, I think being liberal means you're smart. I mean, just saying that. I just think that is what it means. I don't even like politics tonight, but just saying that. I do think there is fake news, however. I think even this place here. Becky, do you have fake beer here today? I mean, do you have some of that here? I don't believe you do. Maybe. I once had fake beer. I drink a whole 6-pack, got into a fake fight. So that's what I do. I roll with beer that way. Not true. I really think that, I'll say one last thing about the media and the press club. Think about joining here. It's all for a good cause. It's a nice place. My membership every year is pretty inexpensive. It allows me to rent this place. I can close the doors, have a private party here anytime I want. A birthday party, some wild orgy, sex thing, who knows what. Heroin, I think is our party. No, I can't do that, Becky. No heroin parties anymore. Okay, that's all. It's the press. We don't need, it's all fake. I do think, however, the media is probably here. Your board of directors is the people like Forrest, who owns a newspaper, and TV stations and PR people. The Tulsa World, they're a big member here. Most of their board of directors and people come from World Reporters. My mother was a Tulsa World reporter growing up. City Hall. My ex-wife was a City Hall reporter. I followed. There's some genetic defect in me that my reporter is sexy. I have no idea what that means. Probably something that. No, but the Tulsa World. I mean, they call themselves the Tulsa World. I mean, come on, how pretentious is that? I mean, they're like 100 zip codes max, and they're all, we're the world. Oh, shut up, you're not the world. Tulsa People, I think your board now, that your past president or one before that was the Tulsa People editor. I like Tulsa People. I mean, I think that's kind of why I do this. I mean, I'm a people person. We should be proud. We should have pictures of people. I like that magazine concept. However, it's dated. I know that the real leadership of America is going toward robots, so I'm looking for Tulsa Robot magazine to come out, so show us all those models. I think that'd be really important for us. I think your last president, Becky, was Gerald your last president here, Gerald Wade? Yeah, Gerald's an interesting guy. He bought me, he cooks bologna. So he's a PR guy who decides his wife won't let him run his smoker unless he sells some. So every time he fires up his smoker, he makes a whole bunch of extra food and has people trade them. I've traded moonshine for bologna before. I've traded different things. Yeah, he just wants to trade something because he takes the bologna, he cuts out the middle and inserts cheese, and it's really, really kind of scary, kind of weird, and I get 5 pounds of bologna. So I think, and he does this all over town. He's really spread his bologna. I think he's responsible for the bologna virus, I think is his. I mean, he's responsible for bologna virus. No, that's not. That's a terrible joke. The bartender normally Monday's Casey. I'm sorry she's not here. So Casey's a really fun, the Monday bartender here. She's not really Casey. There's a missing vowel there. K-Racy is how she is. So come here and play with Casey. I like her. It's a fun place to hang out. They pour a stiff drink. It's a nice place to be. They're open 4 to 8 now. 3 to 8 is your hours and stuff just during the weekdays. Saturdays, now you're open some? No more Saturdays? Okay. Trying to figure that out. I think what I like this place is because it helped me in my career. I sell ideas. I'm trying to sell comedy as a concept, not me as a comedian, but the comedy, the 918 comedy, we have a nice following here. I love what comedy does. I used to want to change the world. Now I want to change the mood. So I really like what comedy does for us here. I was Recycle Michael, now I'm going to be Spin Cycle Michael. I'm going to be able to convince us all to laugh and be fun and go forward with this. And I think that comedy is very honest. It's very pure. It's very raw. I mean, me as a comedian, I'm like a stripper. I'm a pole dancer here. I have a smaller pole. That's the only difference between us here. So what I'm trying to say is that appreciate comedy, appreciate the comedians tonight. What they talk about tonight is truly truth. I know we don't care about truth anymore. I know it's not a big deal to us and stuff, but I really like that. We can make fun of ourselves and move forward, and it's going to be a really great show. So thank you all for coming out. We're going to bring up our first comedian up here. Our first comedian, Dustin DeVore, you recognize him from the Price is Right TV show, so he's the host there as well. So he's actually a doctor. He's very smart. He makes me look bad. I'm an idiot. I'm not the only idiot. I mean, we work shifts. I mean, it's a big city. So, but please wake to the stage our first comedian tonight, Dustin DeVore.
Oh, you're too kind, Michael Patton. I'm going to set this here on the dais. I like to use a mic stand. So, the Tulsa Press Club, established in 1906. We weren't even a state yet. We had a Tulsa Press Club. Now, that was about, 10 years into Michael Patton's second marriage at that point, but, it's been a while. It's been a while. He's been around the block for a little while. It's very funny that Michael Patton gets up here and talks about, fake news and all that stuff when, like if you look at the guy, you're like, his homepage is Newsmax. That's what it's got to be, right? It's just like straight to it. He's got the OAN hat like Gundy and all that fun stuff. He's just rocking all the primo news out there. Sorry, news. Like that's what it is, right? News. It seems treason season's come a little early this year, right? We got 11 senators questioning a valid election out there and all that fun stuff. The other day, I host a podcast called the Red State Blues on the Soundstooth Network. It's about liberals living in Oklahoma, and which is not a fun thing. It's hosted by a couple teachers. Not a fun thing to be in Oklahoma, right? We played those Trump tapes to the Georgia AG, and I guarantee you it was the funniest thing that has ever been said on any Soundstooth podcast or show ever. Like, I'm a historian by trade. He introduced me as a doctor. I am a doctor. Not a good type of doctor. Not the type of doctor that can get you the fun pills and things like that. Like, if someone's like, oh, you're a doctor? You're a script? No, I'm a doctor of history. If you're having a heart attack, I can't help. If you want to know about the Crimean War, we can talk. That's about all I can do. If I'm on a plane that's going down, it's like, hey, is there a doctor in the house? Like, well, yeah, kinda. But I mean, I can console you, I guess. I can tell you some happy thoughts of history. Having done that, I teach a lot of American history and stuff like that. I know about elections that have been contested in the past, right? Nixon kind of contested this election of 1960. I'm sure, Dewey was upset when Truman won. And you go back to the guy, like two guys probably legitimately have been maybe like actually screwed out of the presidency. That's probably Al Gore in 2000 and Samuel J. Tilden in 1876. Michael, you and Sam have some nice memories together. But I can't imagine any of those people calling and whining like that. Like, can you just find me 11,780 votes? That's all I want. Come on. He just sounds like a needy ex-girlfriend or something, like, or whatever. It's just like, just take me back, please, Georgia. You used to like Republicans, and now you don't, because we enfranchised black people, and they can vote more there now. So it happened, right? So good job, Georgia. But it was in my mind, I was just like, here's what I want to happen. I want on Monday for the Georgia AG to come out and say, you know what, we did the recount. We found 11,780 votes for Donald Trump. And we found like 50,000 more for Biden, and somehow 150,000 for Kanye. So we're just gonna like, go ahead, Biden's still president, you just lost by more. I mean, he paid Trump supporters paid $50 million in Wisconsin for ballot recounts. $50 million. Stop the steal, right? Give the man credit. He knows how to market. It's good, right? $50 million.
It wasn't a steal, it was bought.
There you go. But $50 million, and his vote count went down. He lost votes. Like a negative return there. So not the best investment, but hey, I don't know, Michael, if I was supposed to be political or not. Some thin skins here and there. Do you think that like in 40 years, people will like be digging through their grandpa's stuff after he passes and finds his Trump 2020 flag and treats it like when you found your great grandpappy's Klan robe? It's going to be about the same thing, right? It's kind of where we're going. Just saying. Live in Oklahoma. Got a lot of it. So it's been a very, very weird year. Obviously, last year we all fixed it, right? It's 2021. Everything's great now, right? We see how great the COVID vaccine's being rolled out here. I think I'm on chart to get my COVID vaccine in 2024 at this rate in the state of Oklahoma. I guess as long as I'm not on a plane with the governor, I'll be okay. It won't catch it. But has it been such a bad year that we need to was it such a bad year that we need? I've seen multiple videos online on how to hack Aldi shopping carts. Now, I don't know if you guys have been to Aldi. You have to put the quarter in the shopping cart. I've seen at least 5 different ways to hack how to get your free shopping cart at Aldi. That is bad. If that's where we're at, call me. I will give you the quarter. We will take care of it. It will be okay. We can get through this together. I mean, it's I don't know. I love to shop at Aldi because it's kind of like the Big Lots of grocery stores. Is they just kind of dump stuff in there and just kind of sift through what you can find. But it's always insane when you see someone that's never been there before. They're like, "Wait, what? I gotta bag my own stuff? I gotta pay for a bag?" And then they quickly learn the magic of cardboard boxes. The best thing ever known to man. But it was also, kind of a weird year. By the way, I'm gonna have my lovely drink over here. This is a lovely sapphire and tonic. It is January, so everybody celebrate January with me. But we've said for the longest time, people are like, superhero movies are so cool, right? You have superheroes and supervillains, and that weird thing where especially kind of 20 to 25-year-old white guys like to think that the Joker is the coolest supervillain of all time. And we've gotten our superheroes this year and our supervillains. Turns out the Joker was some weirdo who thought 5G was crazy and blew himself up in a van in Nashville. And I still don't understand what they have wrong with 5G. It makes things faster. We're Americans. We like things that are fast. It seems anti-American to not like things that are fast. I can pull up my phone and I'm like, this is here in 2 seconds. It's amazing. It's like the vaccine. We do things fast now, right? If you're a Superman fan, Lex Luthor was always kind of an evil genius and megalomaniac, billionaire, and we got that. It just turns out it was a doddering 300-pound man that plays golf in Florida all the time instead of running the country. That's what we got. Our Lex Luthor is not bald, but he's kind of going that way, And then we got 2 superheroes, it seems. The first is somehow Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton has become a superhero. Right? Yeah, it's great. Like, I mean, Wonder Bra Woman, but it's like, yeah, she's like a superhero all of a sudden. She helped fund a vaccine. She's been fighting racism. She's like, not what you expect. She dropped the Dixie from Dixie Stampede. It's like, what in the hell happened? Did Kenny Rogers' death awaken an inner liberal in her or something? Like, was he holding her down? Maybe. I saw that chemistry in the Island in the Stream video. Did not expect to do a Kenny Rogers joke today. It's fun to roast. And then the other superhero is very recent, and it's a Twisted Tea guy. We've all seen the video, the Twisted Tea guy. Look, first time I saw the Twisted Tea video, I didn't even know what the little white trash crackhead guy was saying to him. I just saw that he kicked the can away, and I was like, that's enough to go on site. You don't do that. Then I heard the video, and I was like, oh yeah, good job. Beat the shit out of that guy with that can. That's what he deserves. But then I started thinking about it, is this really the hero that we want? He still was buying Twisted Tea. I mean, and I think this whole narrative changes if he's got a Four Loko in that hand. I think he goes from being superhero to master, or to more of a vigilante at that point. I don't know. Maybe he had one of the good Four Lokos, getting them going out there. Yeah, if only I still have one of those. I celebrated, I think it was the 8-year anniversary of the death of Real Four Loko the other day. I cried a little tear. For those of you guys that don't know, it's when they decided to put caffeine in booze drinks, and it was like, oh, it turns out it's bad for your heart, you'll die. But the other, we've had a lot of different people that have been called heroes this year. We found out that in Oklahoma, there are a lot of people that consider themselves to be heroes because they are now constitutional scholars and believe that masks somehow violate the Constitution. I don't understand that. But I am a hero on multiple levels, and I don't want to brag about it too much. First of all, yes, I am a teacher, and we are all heroes because we went to college for a few years, and then don't make enough money to quit our jobs when they make us go to the COVID factory, which is what I call school now, the COVID factory, right? There's another punchline I usually do in there. I don't know if I should do it, yeah, I'll do it. The only thing you truly got to do to be a teacher in the great state of Oklahoma is not fuck your students. That's it. That's literally the baseline. And lots of people struggle with that. Trust me. I think we're on our 5th art teacher, right? So. But the other thing I realized is I'm a hero because I got my end of the year DoorDash summary. 108 DoorDash orders from 69 different restaurants. I know it's a nice number. And I was just like, I am a hero. Look at me. I could have went out there and been eating at those restaurants with my mouth open and breathing all over everybody. But no, I didn't do that. Instead, I just made really, really bad decisions and spent way too much money on a delivery service. And then I realized the biggest thing is that had DoorDash been around when I was in college, as you can tell, I went to TU back in the day, and used to the only options you had after midnight was to saunter over to Quick Trip and get a frozen pizza if you wanted. And that was it, right? Now, food is just there all hours of the night. Denny's will deliver to you at 5:30 in the morning. And it's just I can't have this. And then I realized the absolute worst one is Del Taco. I don't know if you guys have been to Del Taco, because it's great. It's great. But there is no way in the world I should be able at 3 a.m. as a fat American to order a burrito, a taco, a hamburger, French fries, and a milkshake. I should not be, and all for under $10. I should not be allowed to do that. I should just not be allowed. All right, I have no idea where I'm at on time. I'm sure it's a long time. So I'm going to end on this story because something near and dear to my heart. I am a teacher. I am the sponsor of the mock trial program at the school I teach at, and I work with a lot of judges here in town and lawyers and things like that. great people. And every year for the last, I think going on 10 years now, we've had an MLK tournament. And we're not going to have it this year because it was, we can't get together and celebrate it. But what I've learned from these kids, they fool you when you're a teacher. You start to care about these little shits, right? and you do, right? But we're back-to-back state champions. You can figure out who we are now. But last year we were in a federal courthouse, and I don't know if you've ever had the displeasure of being in a federal courthouse. It's like the most sterile place in the world, right? And the only people that are allowed to bring in phones are lawyers or the judges. I, as a sponsor, was allowed to bring in my phone because I had to basically lie to them and say, what if a kid dies? I got to call their mom, right? But this kid was like, hey, Dr. DeVore, I really need to look up this statute because I think we can nail him on it. And I was like, oh, okay. Great, that's great to use my phone, don't you? And ladies and gentlemen, it was in that moment when a 16-year-old high school girl asked to see my 40-year-old adult male phone that I realized I had the fastest window closing finger in the world because I shut down every single browser window that was out there. Because Lord knows I don't want to scar that kid for the rest of her life. Thank you so much, Press Club, for having you. Thank you, Michael Madden. Yeah.
Dustin DeVore, everybody! Give it up for Dustin DeVore!
Funny stuff. I really appreciate that, Dustin. And I like the idea that he talks about the kids. Dustin, I have to say, I barely care about my own kids. Why would I care about other people's kids? So you're a hero in our books. Hero for doing all this overall for us. I like the phone bit. I really do. 5G does change the world. People are afraid for some reason. I have no idea why. My phone does already more than I ever needed to do. My phone will bake potatoes. My phone will fly airplanes. I want to be a phone. I want to be a text. I'm an old man. I don't understand technology, so I go forward with that. Okay, so we have the next comic on the stage here. So I'm really impressed with Shauna. So she puts together a monthly show in Claremore, Oklahoma. So it's a gin and tonic. So she really makes the Claremore scene actually sound hip. I know a cocktail bar in Claremore is not oxymorons. Claremorons, I think they call themselves in that community. So going forward, but Shauna is so classy. By far, my favorite comic in Claremore, Oklahoma, ever. So come to the stage, Shauna Warren.
Michael Patton. I love you, Michael Patton.
Aww.
But Michael takes us all over Tulsa. We never know where we're going. He says, we're going here, we're going there. I've never been to the Tulsa Press Club. I didn't know what to expect. I thought I'd walk in and all of you'd be around like ironing things. Clearly a different kind of press. I'm just kidding. Everybody survive Christmas? No? Let me put this a different way. Did everybody survive Hallmark Christmas movie season? That's what it is now, isn't it? It is just like 2 months of Hallmark movies, and they are the worst things you've ever seen. Have you all seen them? Have you? They're terrible, aren't they? They're terrible. The acting, I've never seen anything like it. It's awful. And the directing, I'm pretty sure they're all directed by the same drunken monkey. And the scripts, they just use the same 3 scripts. I know they do. The same 3 scripts, they just white out the lead characters' names, and then they put in others. Like if you're a girl, you can be Holly or Eve or Noel. If you're a man, you can be Chris or Nick. Or Chris or Nick. That's all that you can be. And they're just, they're awful. And I tell you one thing about Hallmark Christmas movies. I love them so much. I love them. I watch them. I don't care. No matter how bad the plot, I'll watch them even more because plot. Who cares about plot? Okay? I mean, you got 2 weeks to save the Santa hat factory. Okay. You're the real daughter of Santa Claus and you grew up at the North Pole and midst, magical elves and reindeer. I'll allow it. Because it's not about the plot. It's about romance. I know you know. It's about romance. And we need it. We have to have that romance. Guys, in these movies, would you ever say anything, this romantic drivel that these men say in these movies? Would you ever say that to a man? No, you wouldn't say it. You wouldn't. Even the male actors are reading the script going, I'm not going to freaking say that. You can't make me. They have to pay actors to say the things that we want to hear. They do. They have to pay them. But guys, We need this. You have got to give this to us. Because within those 1.5 months of Hallmark Christmas movie season, we will download the romance and we will keep it with us for the rest of the year. The rest of the year, when you all have control of that remote and you know what you watch on TV all year long. You watch the same basketball shot 20 times on Sports Center one day. You watch the mating habits of the South American platypus on Wild Animal Kingdom Planet or whatever. You watch golf. You've got to give this to us. We need the romance. But there's one thing that they do good. They do really well on Hallmark. Casting. The casting is so good. These men, these beautiful men, and trust me, I get it. The Academy will not be calling these men. They cannot act their way out of a wet paper snack. I don't care. They're pretty, but not too pretty. Like they always have something wrong with them, like their nose is messed up, or they have a scar that they have to explain in every movie, or they're 5'2" and they got to put them on a box just so they see their co-host's eyes. You know, something that we can believe deep down in our soul. And I know you're with me. I can tell. If we loaded up our whiny ass kids and we drove half the nation away 2 weeks before Christmas to Winter Vale or Christmas Land or wherever the hell we're going, and we meet that bartender, we meet that handyman, we gotta know deep down that he would sleep with us. And that is the magic of Hallmark Christmas movie. That is. So I'm a single mom and I've got 2 kids at home, and usually Christmas I don't get anything. But this year I actually got a present. My kids are green conscious. They got me some socks. And these socks are made out of recycled bottles. Yeah! 97% of these socks are made out of recyclable. And I gotta tell you, they're really comfy. They're really warm. The only problem is that my ankles are now retaining water. 2020 was the year of really terrible presents, really terrible gifts. For my birthday, I got the worst gift ever. I got menopause. The gift that keeps on giving. Oh my gosh, nobody prepared me for this. Nobody told me how bad it was going to be. I mean, it's you just don't know. Oh my gosh, emotional outbursts, they just hit you. And weight gain, oh yeah, thank you very much. What's another symptom? Frequent urination, especially at night. I gotta tell you, I just sleep on the toilet now. It makes everything so much easier. Mood swings, although, I don't think mood swings should be a symptom of menopause. Demonic possession, yeah. Mood swings sound so nice. What's the other? Oh, hot flashes. You men, you just, listen, it's like somebody turns on the surface of the sun inside of you. And this little thing that people do, you see women doing that doesn't help. It does nothing to curtail any kind of a hot flash. Nothing. You know what this is? This isn't for me. You know who this is for? This is for you. This is your advanced warning system. You see this? It's time for Travis Meyer to pop out and say, take cover and take cover now. Go to the bottom floor away from windows and doors. You are in the direct path of the storm. It's awful. I went to my doctor and I was like, what do I do? What do I do with all these symptoms? And he said, Shauna, you know what? I really think that you need to try cannabis. I was like, are you serious? Smoking marijuana is going to get rid of all these symptoms? And he said, no, but you will chill out and that'll be better for the rest of us. So I killed him. And I feel much better now. Cannabis laws are tough in Oklahoma. I mean, I had to get a medical marijuana card just to smoke a turkey for Thanksgiving. It's hard being a woman. It really is. I know that you hear us whine about it, guys, but it's really tough being a woman. Some of you are from the press. You may have heard a few stories back in November about women being given the right to vote 100 years ago. Right. They say that we've been equal to men for 100 years. Women, it's 2021. Do you feel equal? No, hell no. No, we're not. And it has nothing to do with what people usually say. They usually say, oh, women aren't equal because they don't make the same amount as men for the same job. We still do. They say, oh, men have got more upper body strength than women. And they do, except maybe that guy right there. But generally, we do have less body strength. They say stuff like women are not equal because they can't be standing up. Yes, we can. We just choose not to. No, it has nothing to do with that. In fact, it has everything to do that throughout history, women have been denied access to the single most important invention in all of humankind. Pockets. We have no pockets. They don't put pockets in our clothing. Why don't they put, guys, we are totally jealous of you. We are in awe every time you stand up. You're like, oh, I got my wallet, my keys, my cell phone, I'm out. It's the most amazing thing we've ever seen. We don't get this. We are chained. It's why they call us the ball and chain. Chained to this bowling ball bag of emotion and crap. I mean, men, have you ever seen in a woman's purse? Would you ever go into a woman's purse? Hell no. It's like an episode of Hoarders in there. A couple of weeks ago, I cleaned out my winter purse. I found Jimmy Hoffa. It just sucks the life out of us, and I know that you know what I'm talking about, men, because I seen you. I saw you at the ball outside of Victoria's Secret, sitting on that little bench, and you got your woman's purse right there in your lap. You've been there 15 minutes. You look like you've been there 15 years. It sucks the life out of you, and it's so... Okay, all right, here's what's happened. Okay, so we walk around in stilts all day. And we carry this heavy bowling ball back. And over 20 or 30 years, it begins to wear on our physical person. We begin to hunch over. We develop a hunch. We resemble the hunchback of Notre Dame, Quasimodo. And then our boobs begin to hang because our center of gravity is thrown off. And now we've got shin splits and back problems. And we even begin making these little whiny, wincy noises like, ah, because of the pain. So then what happens is we start self-medicating, and now we've got this beautiful aroma of box wine and Bengay and regret. And then menopause hits us, and we're schwitzing and we're sweating, and our hair's all messed up, and we've got this crazed look in our eye. So we get our little Quasimodo friends, and we put them all in a circle, and we talk to each other. It's like QuasiCon 2021, and we say stupid stuff to each other like, "Why did my husband leave me for a much younger woman?" You want to know why your husband left you for a much younger woman, Quasi? I'll tell you why. It's because you have no freaking pockets. So I'm divorced. Big shock. No. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to get married again. I really don't know. I really don't know. When it came to the end of my first marriage, it just seemed to be a financial arrangement. It really did. And I've got a financial arrangement right now with Citibank, and I only have to put out once a month, so I might keep that. My ex-husband got married, though. He got remarried to a, wait for it, much younger woman. He did. She's young. She is so young. I don't know how young she is, but I did catch her playing jump rope with her umbilical cord. So there's that. Yeah, she's young. But you know what, ladies? I was thinking, if older guys can date younger women, we can date younger men, can't we? Yeah, we can. So I just decided to give it a try a couple of months ago. I was kind of seeing this younger man. child. I don't know how old he was. I did not card him on his way into my bedroom. I just know he was tall enough to ride this ride. And, oh, he was so sweet. He was really sweet. He called me Miss Shawn. And I called him baby. Seemed appropriate. And, I mean, this kid, he couldn't handle me if I came with instructions, which is ironic because the only way I came was with instructions. Twice. He actually asked me, he said, Miss Shauna, do you want me to talk dirty to you? And I said, baby, I don't want you to talk at all. This is not an oral transaction. This is not a verbal transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me. You've been a wonderful, small, wonderful Tulsa Press Club audience.
Thank you, Sean Warren, everybody. Sean Warren. Yeah, I love that idea. Thank you for the jokes about pockets. I quickly calculated I have 9 pockets. I'm a pocket calculator now, so I just figured it out. That's a terrible joke. I shouldn't say that. And frequent urination, I get that. That's the other reason I'm up at midnight on New Year's Eve is to go pee. So I get that frequent urination joke, 100%. And thank you. Give it up for the press club, everybody. Give a round of applause to the press club here tonight for having. We're going to do shows here every first Monday of the month. So put in your calendar, come on out here. We have some great shows planned every month. I really like this. It's about the press. I looked at your board of directors real quick. I Googled and saw that Channel 2's slogan is, we work for you. You don't work for me. I mean, I would be a terrible boss, first of all. I'd be an asshole. I'd probably harass everybody. Secondly, there'd be a lot less weather on the goddamn news. We'd have a little screen that says, well, the weather's going to be tomorrow, an hour by hour. We would have non-stop weather people. They're crazy, so they clearly don't work for me. And it really would be a lot more good news. I think that's what it'd be if it worked for me, a lot more good news. We're tired of bad news. We can find out our friends on Facebook post our bad news. All we need to know about that. So let's have the media focus on the good news. Okay, we have one last comic. Please drink up more. So I really appreciate everybody here tonight coming out tonight and supporting the press club. So have some real strong drinks. So our lives, like my alcohol, is on the rocks. So drink them strong, everybody, go forward. So, okay, our next comic, our feature tonight, our headliner tonight is really, America is a democracy. The press club helps make that happen. You know, one of the roles of the press in the world is to really, they're the last line of defense against corruption. So I really appreciate the role the press is playing in America right now, especially right now this week with the trial of Electoral College and the new administration. So the press really are a lot of defense. I appreciate what they've done for us and stuff. America is a democracy. We elect our leaders. Other countries have kings, have princes, have royal family. If America had royal family, if Tulsa had royal family, our next comic would be a prince. So please welcome to the stage, Evan Hughes.
Hello. I'm not going to talk bad about Michael. I like him. He came up to me and was like, do as much time as you want. Just go as long as you can. So I was born in 1979. A long time ago. Why is it messed up? I should probably start a little later in my life. I'll start today. I'll just tell you guys about my day. I went to Dilly Diner earlier. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yes.
Really? Okay, this is not good. So I got one waffle. It was a Belgian waffle. It had a little strawberry in the middle. And some strawberry jam with it. Michael said to do a long set. I got some syrup. My friend only wanted to eat one triangle of their grilled cheese. So I ate the other triangle of grilled cheese. It had tomato in it. Okay, so after that, I went to an antique place, and it was really big. It's on 11th Street. Has anyone heard of that before?
Yeah.
The antique store or 11th Street?
Both, I guess.
Okay, skipping ahead. There was a lot of older stuff in the store. There's an upstairs. I didn't really get anything. Afterwards, I just thought I'd prepare for the comedy show, so I thought back about what had happened that day. And then I came up here and I pretty much told you guys that I like Michael. And then I pretty much said, has anyone heard of Dilly Diner?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, I'm not afraid to die, but I am afraid of what my family would find on my laptop if I did die. It could be like a really awkward funeral. Like they'd just be looking at me like we really didn't know him. I've actually done something about it though. I've kind of got a new security system going. If you even ring my doorbell, it closes all my tabs and deletes my browser history. So I like to go to dance clubs. And I figure, I get it, like the girls there probably don't want to dance with me, but I should probably still ask them anyway. So what I'll usually do is I'll go up to them and I'll be like, hey, do you want to dance with me? But I figure that rejection's coming, so I'll just say, hey, you don't got to dance with me. I should probably get going anyway. I got to be up early tomorrow. I got to be in court for a hearing on unpaid child support. And this one girl was like, get away from me, you deadbeat. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm the kid mommy and daddy are fighting about. So I'm single. I was hanging out with this guy, and the whole time we were hanging out, he just kept looking at me, and he knew I was single. And he was like, bro, I could hook you up. He's like, bro, I could hook you up. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good, right? That's probably all I need is just a little help with it, And then I found out that he had recently gone through a breakup himself. And I think that breakup caused him to have some issues with women. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, he wants to hook them up with me? Like, and he even saw the episode of To Catch a Predator that I was on. For my birthday this year, my family gave me an intervention. I was expecting like a really kick-ass party. I'm really close with my family. And I walked into my house and I was like, holy crap, look at all these presents. But it was just all my stuff in boxes. I used to believe in God until I went to karaoke recently. And this girl butchered Journey so badly that I stopped believing. I actually used to work at the Mid-Continent Tower for 2 years. It's crazy. I worked for a law firm called Petzold, Barker & Woltz. In 2010, I'd go over to Atlas a lot. My boss there was, you get it. Well, I haven't told you anything about him yet, but he was just one of those people, like his favorite thing about the job was being my boss, if that makes sense. And one day he was so overly excited because our office had just got a new shredder, and I was a lot less excited because I knew he wouldn't fit. But my job there was doing deliveries, and one day he sent me out on this delivery, and I thought, before I do this, I should probably just drive around and just chill and be out of the office for a while, like hang out, listen to my music in the car. And then I realized I looked at the clock and 40 minutes had gone by and I forgot where he had told me to even go. So I quit. I heard this pickup line recently that I like. It was, no disrespect, but you're really beautiful. I like it. I think it's good. And I was at McDonald's and I was like, no disrespect, but I'll have the number 4. Then I was at the bank and this lady was like, no disrespect, but your credit score is really low. And I was like, no disrespect, but that's not even my real social security number. I saw the story about how this woman was having trouble getting pregnant. So she went to a doctor, and the doctor gave her these, what do you call them, like those, help me out, sir. He doesn't know. It was just like that sperm that you can get donated from someone else's. But it had been frozen since the 90s. And I thought, that sounds like a really bad idea. The baby's just going to come out with a flannel on. Get back in there, Eddie Vedder. I went on a pretty hot date about 5.5 years ago. I took this girl to Olive Garden. I was so into this girl, like I was ready to pop the question, like, can you help pay for this? But before I could get to that moment, like, she stopped and she was like, hey, Evan, I gotta tell you something. I took all my bedding to the laundromat earlier, and I'm gonna be freezing tonight. If I don't go get it, it's closing in 30 minutes. I gotta go get my comforter. And so I said, or I could be your comforter tonight.
Woo! Yeah.
And for her response, she said, I would rather sleep in the woods. So I said, I would love to go camping with you. You know, sometimes you can be like really good at something, but it's not something that you should be good at. It's kind of like you could have like a superpower, but not one that anyone would actually want to have. Well, for me, my superpower is being in the friend zone, which is actually really cool. Like the whole friend zone system is based on seniority. It goes by how long you've been in it. And I've been in it since I was 9 years old. So I'm basically like a king or a pharaoh. Like the CEO or whatever. At this point, I got the best parking spot at the company. I got the friend zone company car. It's a Ford Focus. Being in the friend zone is like the most comfortable job I've ever had. Like, I don't even have to worry about layoffs because we know I'm not getting laid and I'm not getting off. I went to this place called Smoothie King, and I was in line, and this lady that works there came up to me, and she was like, hey, are you looking to bulk up today? Like, I don't even think there's like a bigger version of this is what women want anyway. You guys remember that game Truth or Dare? Yes. Yeah. Pharaoh, yes, Pharaoh. You probably remember it from like a sleepover as a kid or a really disappointing party as an adult. So I was at this party and my guy friend said to my female friend, he's like, Truth, would you hook up with Evan? It's me. And she was like, I'd never do that. Which is like, cool, like I figured that. It was like, I just got rejected from a job I didn't even apply for. Like, I don't want to work at Wendy's, but if out of nowhere they just send me like a certified letter saying I can't work there, it's like, it's not cool. I did meet this girl at a bar once, and I got her to go home with me in the same night. Okay, nobody said bullshit. But before getting in my car at the end of the night, like, she did something really weird that I wasn't expecting her to do. She just took a picture of me. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking my picture right now before going home with me? And she said she was taking my picture so she could send my picture to her friend in case I murder her. So long story short, I need to find out who this friend is. That's a joke about a first-degree murder. I saw this article about how it's not a good idea if you live in Florida to get a pet door because gators can actually come through it and get into your house. And I'm like, big deal, in Oklahoma, your family can come over. I'm one of these people that's on his phone a lot. People always get on to me about that. And what I like to do most, I like to take videos with it. So I can have some really cool videos to look back on later and reminisce on all the good moments in my life, all the good times. And I almost got this video of me saving a guy's life, but I'm not good at doing two things at the same time. Does anybody want to see a video of a guy dying? I hang out at bars a lot. I was at this one bar closed, and I was outside, and there was these two guys out there that were just kind of like getting into it with each other, like looked like they were about to fight, but they just kept challenging each other like over and over and over. They were just like, come on, man, are we gonna do this? Man, are we gonna do this or not? And I'm used to fights starting right away. I'm usually home watching them on YouTube. And it was like my World Star video was just like buffering. So I thought I would help him out, and I was like, yo, he called you a punk. And he said your mom was a bitch. And then they both kicked my ass. So the 6th time I ever shit my pants, I was at TGI Fridays, and I wanted to try to get like a free dessert. And I think it was the dessert that actually made me shit my pants. And what I did was I told the waiter, I was like, hey, it's my birthday. And I figured I could pull that lie off because I look a lot like a guy that would have his birthday dinner alone at a TGI Fridays. I try to help out homeless people when I can. I recently had one try to help me out. And what he did was he offered to sell me something. He offered to sell me 100 milligrams of Viagra. In my head, I was like, 100 milligrams? I was like, how many boners is that? And he said, that's 12. It just didn't sit right with me. I was like, I'm single. He's homeless, you know? I'm just going to end up with 12 homeless boners that have nowhere to go. That joke's called homeless boners. Is that really your favorite joke?
Yes.
Okay, I would have sucked if she said no. I've realized one thing about relationships is that you can't just have similar interests as someone. You have to have similar problems too to really make the relationship equal, you know? And I met this girl, and the problem that she was having was she was trying to get a swimming pool put in, but it had been raining a lot. She had to wait for the ground to dry before they could get the pool put in. And I'm never gonna have a problem like that, but I wanted to relate to her, so I shared with her a problem I've been having recently. I've had a bologna sandwich for dinner every night this week. And she slowly backed away from me. I tried to explain to her, I was like, it's not always that bad. See, I would normally have hamburger helper. It's just that my mom has been out of town on a business trip. And I don't know how to make it. Like, I have the hamburger, I just don't have my helper. This has been fun, actually. I kind of thought, like, when I came in, like, the vibe was like you're at school late at night and you're in trouble. But it's cool. I love it, actually. I love it. I'm a big pro wrestling fan. Any other wrestling fans? Okay, is that Ric Flair? Okay. Couple Hulkamanians. Yeah. Oh yeah, which one's that? Macho Man. Macho Man. I went to a pro wrestling show in Tulsa, and I sat next to probably like the best heckler that I've ever been around in my life. And during one of the first matches, he yelled out at the wrestlers, and he goes, "Beat them to death!" It kind of freaked me out. I was like, should I leave? But I realized, I was like, oh, he knows it's fake. He just wants it to be real. It's kind of like my dating life. I want it to be real, but I usually just go home and put in a porno. And then I beat it to death. I think that was a pretty good way to end the show. Yeah?
Yeah, woo!
Your host, Michael Patton.
Thank you. Evan Hughes, everybody. Give it up for Evan Hughes. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out to the press club. We appreciate this. We're going to do a show here the first Monday every month. February 1st, we're going to have Josiah Patrick, Sandra Slade, J-Deb on that show. Put in your calendar, 7 o'clock, February 1st, come back out here. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's been a good night. I appreciate you all. Give it up for our comics, Evan Hughes, Sean Ward, Justin DeVore. Thank you, Press Club. Good night. See you next month.
Michael.
Yeah.
Y'all try not to look sad.
Act like we're happy.
Hey, what's going on, Chris? How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
I'm sorry, brother. Man, I saw you over there.
Really good.
Every time I see you, I don't recognize you. How you been?
Good, man.
Good, man. Good.
Ready, everybody? 1, 2. It's a really big chew.
Thank you. Thank you for it.
You
Thank you, J-Deb.
said,
Thank you very much. Very nice.